Amazon Web Services. I work in our partner organization, specifically covering financial services, and I help our customers and partners build new and innovative things on top of AWS. And I'm here to talk to you tonight about Amazon Connect. I actually chose this talk before I even knew that ECS was sponsoring and going to have this little banner there, so it just actually a fortunate coincidence. And I'm actually going to even call upon them to show you things in our live demo, so it all worked out quite well. But it's a very exciting product, in my opinion, because I've been with AWS for 5.5 years, and I've seen us innovate on behalf of the customer loads. Like, you people out there are telling us all kinds of things, build this, build that. But occasionally, we get to go across the Amazon barrier and steal something really cool from our retail cousins. And everybody tends to say, like, when I say I work at Amazon, people are like, wow, you work at Amazon. Like, I had such a great experience. I love your products. I love the things you do for us. And that's usually because of my retail cousins. It's never because of AWS. Nobody ever says, like, I'm so happy with the RDS instances you guys deploy, and DynamoDB is awesome. Nobody ever says that to me. But part of having a great customer experience is being able to manage it when things go wrong. And the contact center we have hundreds of millions of customers at Amazon. And with hundreds of millions of customers processing billions of orders, there's going to be the one that does go wrong. And making sure you put that right is how we get those high customer satisfaction scores. And our contact center is a big part of that. And the fact that we at AWS have been able to open that up to our customers, AWS customers, is really exciting. But what do we see a lot from people who are coming to us asking about Connect? Well, first of all, nowadays, if somebody's calling you, most likely they have a problem. Most people are probably going to interact primarily through a digital channel. And if that doesn't work, then they're going to resort to the phone. So most likely, the sentiment's probably going to be starting off kind of bad. And if your contact center isn't good, it's just going to get worse. And you're going to amplify the problem, and then they're going to take to digital channels to let everybody know what a negative experience they had. Now, another thing is, call centers have not been heavily invested in. So your agent performance, they might not be getting training. They might not understand how to handle different types of queries. And when they don't handle things well, the only way to go back and correct them is to have somebody download the call, listen to the whole thing, go back and talk to that agent, and provide them a very manually intensive training. So none of that's good. It's very labor intensive. It's very cost intensive, and it's not a good experience for the customer who's calling in the first place, because if they call in, they have a problem, agent can't solve the problem, agent needs to be trained on how to solve the problem by another person. This could be weeks, and customers, in the meantime, gone to your competition. So the contact center can actually bring to bear a lot of AWS services to help that. And we use artificial intelligence. So some of the things that we're able to do is bring the customer data to the forefront, so the agent can look and say, oh, Matt Pitchford, okay, I understand who you are. You're an Amazon customer. You're doing this. You're doing that. Your recent purchases are thus. Make the agent primed to give a good customer experience. Then it can also start to analyze the speech that's happening in real time. So we're not waiting for the call recording to be heard by a manager or an analyst or something to determine that, oh, Matt was unhappy when he called in. We'll start to understand that straight away. The language that we're using will help us understand that, and the AI will interpret it for us. And so then it also allows other people to immediately inject themselves into the situation. Because sentiment's being analyzed in real time, the management can be looking at that and seeing, you can have a dashboard where it sees the needle moving. We'll show that in a bit. You could have, your agents with just a green or a red dot against them. There's a lot of ways you could do that. But if they see something going wrong, they can immediately jump in. They can see the transcription happening in real time, saying, what's this customer unhappy about? Are we not resolving their issue? Do we need to offer them something to show that we still care about them? What is it that we need to do to turn this situation around? And the other thing is it also starts to generate that data around improving your agent performance in real time. So again, you're not waiting weeks to go back and have a day out where you listen to calls. You know at the end of the day how all your agents are performing. So all these things are really helping improve the capabilities and the experience of the people calling in. And this is what it looks like when you build it. Now, Amazon Connect is actually just the upper left icon there. So all the rest of this is other AWS services that provide enhancements to it. So just to explain how the workflow would go, a customer is going to call. Connect is going to be the thing that fields their call. It's then going to start that session for communication. And then there's going to be agents and other people that are going to interact with that as well. But it also allows us to pass that data through. In this case, we're going to send it to Kinesis video streams, which can also absorb it, just an audio stream. And then that's going to then pass it through to Lambda, which is going to then pass it on to other services. So transcribe is going to be something there to take the voice, translate that to text in real time. Translate, we have that turned on. So if your callers are speaking a language that your agents don't necessarily speak, there's the possibility to have that transcription happen in real time. The solution we're going to show you does not have Amazon Polly, but for example, Polly is the reverse of that. You could have your agents speak, put it into Polly, put it into Translate to transcribe to Polly, and have the people hear their native language, so that the whole transaction, again, means that you could probably have more agents be more effective in more languages. We don't have that in this demo, but it is a viable solution. Comprehend at the bottom left. Comprehend will be the thing determining the sentiment. It's going to be looking at that text, saying, picking up on keywords like angry, happy. This isn't good enough. It can pick up whole phrases, things like that. And it will start to determine, what's happening on this call. Now, we also have some other services that are built in here. These are just mainly for driving the demo application. And the web interface that I'm going to show you, is built with the services here in this middle box. Just your standard things to build a web app, so that we can pass text and speech back and forth, establish identities, store it in a database. At the bottom, we have some larger scale analytics capabilities, which I'm not going to demo, but you can feed in larger sets of data. As you receive, obviously I'm only going to do one call, but if you're receiving hundreds, thousands, millions of calls, that's data you want to mine and analyze. Did we have a particular set of problems in 1 week where it indicates that maybe we had a bad batch of manufacturing or a bad shipment of products went out the door, or there's all kinds of things that this contact data can help you determine in your business. So with that, just going to break out. And before we go into the big demo, I just want to show you Amazon Comprehend, first of all. It's super easy to use. This is the AWS console. It just has a box where you can paste speech into. And so I went into a couple news sites earlier today. Of course, I went on BBC, so one of the main stories was about Brexit. And we'll do a quick just demonstration of it analyzing things. So when you do put things into Comprehend, it can tell you about what's happening here. So it'll determine, this is the Supreme Court. The Scottish Supreme Court was in there, obviously. Aidan O'Neill. Yeah. So it'll tell you about a lot of different attributes about it, but it'll also tell you the sentiment. If you're a good journalist, you should be writing in a neutral sentiment. Let's see, can somebody actually write a neutral sentiment about Brexit? So 0.93% confidence of neutral, 0.5 of negative, and mixed 0.1, which oddly doesn't add up to 100%. But so picked another story which I thought might be maybe a bit more positive, a sports story from my favorite baseball team, where a player is going back to the location where his grandfather played, and I thought that might be a heartwarming story. Let's see if there's a bit of positivity in that. So we have some of the people, like if you're baseball fans, Fenway Park, the name Yastrzemski should automatically resonate with you. I'm not a Red Sox fan, so I'm a Giants fan, but any case, is this positive? Only 0.1%. So this is a much more neutral story. But let's see what happens when we get real. And for that, I'm going to, first of all, show you. So this is the agent screen. And we also have a QA screen here as well. So let me just get these sized up a bit better so I can find them. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to start the call because it's linked to my phone number, and then I'm going to hand off to my angry friend, Ignacy, who's going to, I actually have no idea what he's going to say, so I'm very interested to see what problem we have to resolve. And as I connect. Oh. Oh. Okay, we're authenticating. Okay, so you're live, and we should be coming in here. Oh, and my microphone is not accessible. Have you answered? Oops. Oops. Of course, it's a live demo. We have to. Of course, as my microphone decided to die. This, of course, it was working like 15 minutes ago. Aha. Okay. Seems all right. Let me just try. Come on. Have you been disconnected? Okay. Apologies, folks. The hazards of live demonstrations. Yeah. Oops. Oh, and I love the fact that it only gives you one chance to get your pin right. It just hangs up on you. Smoke 'em if you got 'em. Okay. Where am I? Ah, right, yes. Yep. Yeah, come on. I really want to do this. Microphone settings. Come on. Sorry, I should have brought my glasses as well, which is a yeah. Let's see here. Are we okay? Microphone is not accessible. Let's see if it's going to. No. This is turning out to be horrible. any questions while we sort out the technical problems? I know. Can I have my phone back to redial? Yeah. Yes, fire away with questions. Uh, yeah, I mean, I think the things that we've seen best is probably not having Polly trying to handle. Allow, yes. I said allow, but it's not accessible. Okay, excellent. Yes, I can hear you perfectly fine. I'm not sure if you can hear me. Okay. I'm very sorry to hear that you're unhappy. Um, we would really like to resolve this issue right now. Seeing as how you haven't received what you've ordered, would it be possible for us to organize a new delivery? Will you be available to receive that tomorrow? Yes, that's perfectly okay. We can arrange a 1 hour slot. What time would be best for you? Yes, that's fine. Our deliveries start at 8 o'clock, so we can arrange a slot between 8 and 9 p.m., or 8 and 9 a.m., when you will be home and available. As you've had such a terrible experience thus far, we'd like to offer you a token of our appreciation for your patience. Could we offer you a free month's of Netflix and a $20 Amazon voucher? Okay. So as you can see here, we can hang up now. I think that's we have shown how the sentiment went. Obviously, very bad. When Ignacy was there talking initially, he used a lot of language about being unhappy. My delivery wasn't there. I'm super unsatisfied, and he just like went on a lot, and that pegged it to 100% negative. That agent's gonna have a very hard time to then come back and recover that situation. As I was a bit troubled with my microphone and other things, the one aspect I was going to show, but unfortunately was concentrating on the wrong things, is that the QA manager also can be exploring the situation here and seeing calls that come in. So these are some that I did earlier where you can see the sentiment was like positive and where it was negative, and then the QA manager can actually interject into the conversation where you would see come in here in the call transcript saying like, offer them a voucher, escalate this, transfer them to here, so that that person, when they see something going wrong in real time, can, in the background to the customer, insert themselves into the conversation. So, that's how it works, and this is being used, this is the kind of things that Amazon uses to, in real time look at the sentiment and see how we're doing. And, we're seeing people deploy this quite frequently. You saw it being pretty responsive there as far as getting Ignacy's text there. One trick we were going to do, but obviously got a bit delayed, was have him speak Spanish and see, how the agent could handle that. But it does work. If anybody wants to do it when it's working better, maybe when we're eating pizza, we'll try it out again. I don't believe I ever got to fully answer your question, though, which was about having Polly handle the situation and stepping in. One of the problems with that is possibly the complexity of the situations it can handle. what we see people doing is having that type of interaction prime for an agent. So identity verification, what is your issue, helping to do maybe call routing and these types of solutions so that you have your agents delivering the most valuable aspects of their services when they're on the phone with people and not doing things that actually could have been done beforehand, like, are you really who you say you are? What do I need to help you with? These things can make sure that the call is routed to the right person. And then Poly can help with those types of things. But usually once you're in a real problem resolution thing, it's quite complicated to have an AI do that at this point because of the variety of things that the person might want to resolve and the different scenarios. So maybe with something simple like a password reset or something like that, yeah, it might work. But once you get into something like the problem I was trying to solve, like they haven't received a delivery, you might need to look that up, rearrange a time. Could start to get tricky. Do we have any other questions before I move on? Okay. Yeah. There's all kinds of possibilities for integration. So once we are done with this, you see right here that it's, once I've clicked away the error, after call work. So right here, you could actually implement your own workflow as well to say, go into the ordering system, go into the delivery system, go into other things to kick off that. And that can also be triggered by the transcript and what you've seen there. There's another question here in the front. Yeah. Yeah, so I mean, the sentiment is like, it's just a measurement. You could drop it into a database and do that. You could use it like, in the architecture diagram, we were using Lambda. So Lambda, you could fire a trigger such that if sentiment goes below some threshold to take some sort of action, which is actually what's happening here. Well, in the previous one, so you see with sentiment below 40%, I think I just haven't re-signed in, but this would trigger like a QA. It would trigger the call to go to the QA agent. So we already have that in this workflow. You could trigger all kinds of things. Anything that Lambda can do, you could trigger it. Any other quick questions before? So it's using comprehend out of the box, but you could train it a bit better if you wanted to. So I mean, it's going to pick up on things like I'm angry, I'm upset, and those kinds of things. But yes. Okay. Well, I think that's about it. I'm going to hand over to the next presenter. So I appreciate your patience in the obligatory demo destruction, but thank you very much, and I'll be around for any further questions.